be a top hacker with your questions. With that being said, guys, I'm going to ask the first question to get you guys started as I go out into the crowd. My first question would be for Rain and Angela. What does it feel like to be reunited in front of people in public together?
I can answer that.
You know, people always, for Jim and Pam, they're like, ah, and for Dwight and Angela, they're like, ew. I really think we're the real, like, relationship.
It's our chemistry was the beating heart of the show. Yes.
I mean, did Jim propose with his, like,
Bullhorn?
family's, like crushed up bullet up someone's butt? No.
No.
But
Yes.
I did.
And did Jim love Pam with the force of 1,000 waterfalls?
No.
He did not. Idiot.
I am a huge fan of you guys. I've been watching you for years.
They're not. I'm so glad you are. I don't know where they got these people from, but they got Anya here. She's a big fan. So
my question is for everyone. I really want to know if you were a fly on the wall in a scene that you are not in, your character's not in, which scene would you choose to be a fly on the wall in?
Creep.
Fly in the ointment, fly in the wall. Hot bites for teeth. Dinner party. I want you to sit there and watch.
I would say when Michael asked Phyllis if she broke wind.
Koi Pond.
Oh, yeah.
I would say dinner party too, but I was thinking of fly, like the scene when Sensei Billy was there. I'm sort of a fly on the wall. I'm there, but I'm not really doing much. It was just phenomenal to just get to see and watch and, you know, watch Dwight do his thing as I stood next to Sensei Billy. Christopher!
When Jim and Steve and Rain are in a car, they did some prank, and Rain's like, I think I took a chunk out of my
Penis.
Earmuffs, kids.
Wait, Melora Hardin's here. Come on, Melora. Oh, giving her center seat.
I'd like to have one more if I could. That I want.
Everyone's gone yet, but okay.
And with Angela and Rain, you're talking with Paul, and it's red line. And she goes, "Is that called red line?" And she says, "Well, how does the male penis open up except the other male penis?" I had to be there, but I wasn't. So there you go.
I'll demonstrate later, Creed.
Laura, we're doing if you could be a fly on the wall in a scene that you weren't in. Yeah.
Fly on the wall, a scene that I wasn't in. I actually really loved that scene that Kate did where she was like completely flat out drunk. I'm sorry, you were flat out drunk in every scene you did. Yeah, no, there was one though where you like got hit by a car. Yes, that one. That's the one. Thank you, sister.
I'm going to add one that it was as I would love to have been there for the birth of Kevin Malone and Jan's child Astor. That would have been something to see.
Astor.
That's true.
All right, that covers it, guys. We're over here. Our next question comes from.
Hi, I'm Lorelai. I was just wondering, what was your guys' least favorite scene to film?
Mine would be when I licked a cat. I said that day, am I really gonna have to lick the cat? And they said, absolutely not. Under no circumstance will you be licking the cat. The camera's very far away, you don't have to worry. And then we started doing the scene and the camera started coming closer and closer. And then I was like, I knew it. They came up to me and they're like, so just one take, would you lick the cat? And you guys, this was a hairy cat. This was not a slick cat. And so anyway, I licked the cat's face.
Fun Run was not so fun. It was 105 degrees. And when they paused the jogging, we would have to find like a sliver of shade in the San Fernando Valley to kind of like cower behind. That was no fun.
Yes, when I was at the fun run with Leslie and Oscar, the fettuccine was just a little off. Other than that, it was fine.
Wine was good too. Yeah. We got to hop in the cab and go have wine and fettuccine, so it was good for us.
All right, guys, great answer here. I'm in the second row. What's your name? What's your question?
Hi, my name is Christy Anderson, and my question is, in real life, who's most like their character and least like their character?
Ray Wilson, Dwight.
I don't think so, Ray.
Creed.
What you're talking about?
Creed. Creed is Creed. Paul and Toby, yeah.
I mean, Paul is a little Toby.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
All right, guys, I'm over here with our next question. What's your name? What's your question?
Hi, I'm Joy. Happy to be here. I'm wondering if you ever subconsciously fall into characters outside, and if you could switch your life for 20 years of being in Scranton and having that life and those friendships in the office, would you do that?
Okay, what's the second part? Sorry.
It's
old now.
The office where, well, we all here believe it's a real place. Would you switch your life to be with those friendships and working in the office and having that fun and that camaraderie?
Of course not.
Hell no.
No, when I worked for $53,000 a year in a paper company in Scranton. No. You high?
Would I live with Michael Scott? No.
We're for a limited amount of time. Just serious questions, please. Serious questions.
I don't know, if you've ever tried Alfredo's Pizza Cafe, you might say, yeah, I'd go to Scranton.
All right, guys, I'm right here in the middle with our next question. What's your name? What's your question?
Hi, my name is Bianca. I'm here from Miami with my niece and my nephew, and we're really big fans.
Can you have your niece and nephew stand up just so we can embarrass them? There they are, look at that.
Your name is?
Joey?
Brianna.
Is that the question?
No. My question is, if you guys didn't pursue acting, what would you be doing?
Bartending.
Hey, you don't disappoint.
He was a rock star before he was an actor, so.
I'd be running a small paper company in the Northeast.
All right, guys, I'm in the back here with our next question.
Hey, so Brian let it leak that there was a fantasy football league that went on. So the question is, if you can let it divulge, what's your first round pick this year?
So, me and Andy are the only ones on the fantasy football team in this motley crew.
Sorry, I'm a baseball fan. Sorry.
Yeah!
Have you heard that? Have you heard that Phillies? Suck it.
My first, your son does your drafting for
My
you.
son does our drafting, I know. My first pick is going to be Bob Greasy at quarterback.
Mercury Morris, running.
Mercury Morris. And Larry Zonka will be. Maybe we'll go with Tua since we're in Miami. Or Tyreek, I guess.
All right, guys.
McCaffrey's like the number one guy that always goes first, I think, right?
All right, guys, I'm gonna back with our next question.
She's had her hand up for a really long time, so long that her husband or boyfriend
Holding her
is
arm.
holding her arm to separate so that it doesn't lose all the blood. So I think she should get the next question.
Her husband is on the left. It's her boyfriend holding her arm.
What's your name?
Hi, I'm Nicole. Thank you for okay, so I'm a film and TV production major right now in college, and I just wanted to ask if any of you have any like tips or tricks when you're just starting in this industry?
Don't.
Take the lens cap off. Take the lens cap off the camera before you.
Okay, this is a panel of smartasses. But I would just say, you know, my mom used to always say to me, why not you? And really don't let anyone else tell you what you can be or can do. And if it's something you're passionate about and you want to really just give yourself to it, go for it. Throw your whole self into it.
Good answer.
Great answer, guys. I'm in the back here. What's our next question?
So my name's Lauren, and I can't stand up because Dwight, like the office, is snoozing. So I apologize, but hello. I am curious. I want to go back to the fun run really quick. What would your carbo load meal be?
What?
Yes.
What would your carbo load be?
What would your carbo load be?
Fettuccine Alfredo did seem to work well.
No, we all live in Hollywood. We don't eat carbs. How dare you? Mine would be bread. Just give me all the bread and butter. That's carbs, right?
Have you seen my tuchus? I eat carbs.
All right, guys, I'm over here with Ashley. Ashley, what's your question for the panel?
First off, thank you. Second off, do you miss it?
I mean, of course, we're here. Yes, we love it. It's been like the joy of our lives to be part of this show. And all of you, and what it means to people, 100%. My favorite thing is when we all get together just to remember how much we laughed. Every day we laughed, and what a gift that was. And yeah, and I miss, like, we stay in touch. We do a pretty good job of staying in touch. But Jen and I were talking the other day that, like, we miss, like, you know, I miss Dwight sometimes, and I miss, you know, like Stanley and Phyllis and their crazy desk clump, like
Shopping.
Yes, and I don't know. Sometimes I miss the characters, you know.
I missed the office itself. Like literally, it was awesome because it was. We'd literally go to our desk like it was a real office job every morning. Kind of nuts. It was great.
Only thing is we had our breakfast made for us, our clothes laid out, everything up. Yeah, not a bad gig.
Leslie misses pretzel day.
Oscar, weren't you going to say something? You were going to say something.
I was, but the time passed because she did her go back and finish saying how much we love and know each other.
I guess I'm going to set Oscar up. I mean, because we all have stayed in touch. We love each other.
Amanda's right. We're very close. The time, in case
I see why you put the mic down.
Yes, timing is in comedy. It's the timing, and you want to know when to stop talking and when the people are laughing. You don't want to go too long, unless.
Question, which is that I had the opportunity to work with Dick Van Dyke about, I don't even know, like probably 20 years ago. And, you know, he must have been asked about Mary Poppins like 7 trillion times. And he has the most incredible amount of grace, and he doesn't mind that they all ask the same question every time. And I just it sort of dawned on me just recently, like, we're kind of in a modern day, like, iconic show, and you guys have made it iconic, and because of streaming, it continues to touch generation after generation. It's crazy that we have fans that are 60 and 70, and we have fans that are 10 and 9. I mean, really, it's crazy. So, in a way, I just want to say, like, when you say, do we miss it or are we grateful for it? I mean, I think we're all so grateful for it, and it really is an incredible thing to be part of something like that is truly special still and one of a kind, and you guys are the ones that keep it going. And so I just want to say thank you, and really, it's really quite amazing. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Speaking of Pepsi Day, we have one of our contestants from earlier. He has a question.
Hi guys, Julian from Miami. Obviously, like everybody else in here, I appreciate you guys being here and coming out. Longtime fans, so thank you guys for being here. My question is, throughout your time on the show, obviously it's really hard to stay in character. Is there any one time specifically for you guys, like in your own scenes, in your own time in the show, that you guys remember was like, we had to reshoot it a bunch of times, or you're like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this line because it was just so funny? Do you guys have like any memories of that in your own time?
Yeah, when Jim and Dwight were on the party planning committee and planned Mindy Kelly's birthday, it is your birthday period, with the brown and gray balloons, they literally had to stop production because we were laughing so hard. We could not stop, and we would try and try and try, and after about 15 takes, they literally like, let's just take a 20-minute, half-an-hour break. And we went, like Leslie said, we went and got more free breakfast and came back. And even then, it was still really hard. But the most common question people used to ask is, how do you keep a straight face? And the obvious answer is, we don't, because all you have to do is look at the Office bloopers on YouTube. Now people go, oh, they weren't always keeping a straight face.
But they don't even have to look at the bloopers. Just watch the actual episode. Like in almost every episode, someone's like, And I used to say that Brian Baumgartner, I called him the kettle. You know why? When he would try to hide his laugh, he would go like this, as Kevin.
All right, guys, I'm over here. Your next question comes from.
Sorry, my name is Aya. I had a question. What episode do you guys rewatch or go back to? Which is your favorite? I have 2 questions. The second one is for Rain. There was this cute guy with you back there, and my sister here is single. She's prime material. If you'd like.
Can we get security in here?
All right, guys. We got some questions over here. Here we go.
Hi.
Dinner party, to answer your first question.
Dinner party.
I'm just curious, from the start of the show, was there a moment that anyone realized, oh, this show is going to be huge? Was there a single moment, maybe an episode that got released, or maybe it was overtime?
I think I can answer that from my perspective because it's kind of funny, I think. You might not laugh. But I've been doing this since I was 6 years old, professionally acting. And I think we were already a hit when we got nominated for our first SAG award, which we then won, and I didn't know we were a hit because I just didn't believe it because I'd done something like 13 pilots, which is a lot of pilots. And I just kind of was a little wary, like, oh, great, another show that's going to be short-lived, and I love this show. I hope it runs, but I don't know. So anyway, we go to the SAG Awards and we win. And when you win a SAG Award, everybody gets a trophy, and the trophy is a bronze sculpture with a marble base. And the marble base is about this big. And so I carried that around all night, because when you win the award, you're carrying it around like this, you got your long dress on, you can't carry it down here, you can't really carry it up here, you just carry it like this. And I woke up the next morning and I literally could not move my bicep. I could not move my arm. And I turned to my husband and I was like, we have physical proof, I guess we're a hit.
I think that one moment for that we saw a difference in how people were finding the show was It was the Christmas episode. You know, the one where Phyllis Smith's Michael, the Mitt, and yes. And so after that episode aired, we were the #1 download on iTunes. And we were like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. And then that was it. Like, we just took off after that, and I traded in my Chevy Blazer for a Honda.
All right, guys, over in the front row, what's your name?
My name is Bianca, I'm from Miami. This question is for Rainn Wilson. My question is, what were your emotions on the last episode when Jim revealed that Michael was your best mensch?
Oh, that's nice. My bestest mensch. Well, I think the last episode was really incredibly special, and I'll never forget it. And kind of, we had people had heard that we were filming the final episode, so we had a team of like super fans like you. There's like 30 or 40 people on the street outside with banners, standing there, kind of like John Cusack and Say Anything with the thing over his head, like, and we'd come out and high five and hug them, and then they would announce, like, Kelly, our assistant director, would say, like, and that's the last scene we're shooting in the kitchen. That's a wrap for the kitchen. Say goodbye to the kitchen, everyone. And that's the last scene we're shooting in the break room. Everyone say goodbye to the break room. And they'd be wheeling off the vending machines and shutting it down. And it was really, like, incredibly moving. And we all felt like the show needed to end, but we also really missed it at the same time. So the last episode was really beautiful, and Creed was singing songs, and we were crying, and yeah, it was great.
This is also like a new day in entertainment, in the sense that even though, like, when we were making the show was a hit and it was doing great, but we could have never anticipated that whatever it is, 11 years later, it's even bigger than it was when it was on NBC. Before there was any streaming, that wasn't even really a thing. As Angela said, we were the first like hit on iTunes. We were the first show that was the most downloaded show on iTunes when iTunes was the only thing. So even as it wrapped, I wasn't there on the last day. If I'd known it was gonna be this, I would have showed up for the last day to be like, oh my God, the kitchen's wrapping, what? You know what I mean? But like, it really is, it's kind of incredible just what this all is now.
And especially since we were doing the show for 9 years and we never had a studio audience, we never had a laugh track. And all of a sudden, it just, no laugh track. So you get to see an episode and you get to laugh in different places every time you see an episode, which is unique. That hadn't been done before. The mere fact that, we did a show, it was successful, and then the industry, the medium, it evolved in such a way that people continued to watch it, and then COVID came along and people were at home going, what to do, and they started watching it more and more and more, and people realized that those personality types were on their jobs, at school, they were in the hospital they went to, they were at their church, all over the place. And when people were at home during COVID, they got to sit down and watch that show and go like, this looks like the people I work with. And it started to build even more. So, I think I looked on TV one day, I think the show was on, I counted it, 54 times in one day, something crazy. And, so it's a phenomenon that continues to grow. I think generations are going to be looking at our show the way some of us grew up watching I Love Lucy or The Golden Girls or Seinfeld, those types of shows. People are watching us, and
I want to say too, like, we're front-facing because we're the cast, right? But we have the incredible bounty of having Paul Lieberstein here, who last several years of the show. He was there from the get-go, from the very beginning. He wrote healthcare in the first season. So many of the greatest lines from the show. And really the brain trust of Greg Daniels, the founder, and Paul and the other team of writers was what made the show what it is. So we kind of get all this.
Point are you making?
It really is about the writers. But I'm wondering, Paul, what you can share from when you guys were first sitting down. You've got Greg, you've got Mindy Kaling, BJ, Mike Schur, aka Mose, sitting down to create the show. Like, what was
Larry Wilmore, wasn't it?
Larry Wilmore,
Was
yep,
there,
from The
right?
Daily Show. He was on that staff. Incredible staff. What was it like? And how did you guys know that there was something special going on?
He's so mad at you right now, Randy. He's like,
And then I'll ask you a question. You know, it started like, we were all just terrified of ruining the English show, you know, because we all love that.
Thanks, Paul.
I think about the question a little bit earlier, what did I miss? This is like, there was so much talent there. Like, on other shows, I'm not going to work with just, in most jobs, I think there's, some people are very talented, and some people are not talented at all, and most people are like, And this was like everywhere, an insane amount of talent. And there was brilliance from like every corner, whether from props to everyone's performances. People keep asking like, how much of it's improvised? It all seems so improvised, which is an amazing testament to all these actors who made it sound so natural that you thought they were just making it up.
And also a testament to your great writing, that we can make it so.
That collection of people that you were saying, and this collection, and I missed that.
Great answer, guys.
Real quick before the next question, I just want to say thanks to Arnold Cuervo and Jesse Cohn who put this whole thing on. Jesse's sitting over there. To all the volunteers, Megan, who helps me, and they do such a phenomenal job. And just want to say thank you.
oh yeah, before the next question, will you guys be in my Insta story? I'll make a video, I'll post it eventually. Okay, bye.
You're so good at this, Angela.
Okay. Here, no, you're gonna say hi. Ready? On 1, 2, 3.
All right, guys, we got time for 2 more questions. I got one right here, and then I'm going to go to you, sweetheart. You had your hand up for a while.
So long.
Yeah, so you're going to be our last question. Our next question, you go ahead.
Hi, I'm Elisa, and Dinner Party is also one of my favorite episodes. And so whenever you were filming Dinner Party, did you know that it was going to be a fan favorite, or were there other episodes that you were filming and you're like, this one's going to be a good one with the fans?
I think that we could feel that it was funny, for sure, and we were all trapped in this tiny little condo in the valley. And it was also another time of our summer that was about 104 degrees. And we had to keep turning the air conditioning off because of sound. And so it was really uncomfortable. Like the discomfort of that episode is somewhat real. It really was quite uncomfortable, and we were all sweating and dripping, and we were all like sitting way too close to each other, and I'm sure some of us smelled badly. I don't know, I can't remember. It might have been me, I don't know. But anyway, I think it was one of those that was highly charged because it was so trapped. But I don't think any actor really can ever anticipate something being as special as that episode was. I don't think we could ever have anticipated that. No, certainly not.
Can you tell me when Hunter's next record is coming out? One Night was such a monster hit, like level of happy or, smooth.
I do remember being so tickled to see where Jan and Michael lived. Like, just as a fan of the show, and just walking in their apartment, the props department and the set decorators of our show, everything about that condo was spectacular and craptastic, so I remember that, and I also remember I was about 8.5 months pregnant, and that's why Angela walks in with that huge flower bouquet, is to hide my belly. That was why. And Steve Carell never breaks, and I shared this with some people earlier today.
Yes, he does. Oh, yes, he does.
He does.
Yes, he does. And he did on Snip, Snap, Snip, Snap, Snip, Snap. Yes, he did. Oh, yes, he did.
When he would break hard enough to ruin a take, it was something we all remembered. And Oscar, too, is a statue. He never breaks. But Ed Helms said, Ed was supposed to take one of the flowers out of the bouquet, and Ed Helms said, which one do I take? And they said, it doesn't matter. So he goes, okay, so they roll action, and the one he took out was this saddest flower, and Steve just lost it. He was like, look at the flower. It was so fun.
All right, guys, we're here with our last question. She had her hand up for at least 15 minutes. And I just noticed her other arm is in a sling, so she's dedicated. Caitlin, what's your question?
So I have a two-part question. First is for Paul. So if Jim and Pam didn't get together, do you think you would have ever ended up with Pam? And what's everyone's favorite outtake that didn't make the bloopers? Or what's your favorite bit that no one got to see?
First question is for you. If Pam had ended up with Jim, do you think Toby would have ended up with Pam? First question.
Because she did say she always thought Toby was cute.
I think it's sort of a possibility. It doesn't really seem that far-fetched to me. I think it was close there for a while.
There you go.
Gave me a lot of looks.
Your second question.
What was the part two?
Outtakes that didn't make air.
Outtakes that did make it to air. Oh gosh, there's a lot.
I think you guys probably know them more than me because there's all the Superfan episodes. But there's a lot. I mean, every episode had 15 minutes of stuff that didn't make it. At least, yeah, every episode.
A lot of deleted scenes on the DVD box set. I'm just saying. I watched it.
I thought it was
I
interesting.
have to think what didn't make it into the Superfan really sucked or was really inappropriate.
The only episode that I've watched so far on the DVD box set that has virtually no outtakes is Moving On. And they made it into 2 parts, Moving On 1 and 2, because you liked it so much, we actually had to add footage from another episode to make it full 2 episodes, but that's how much they loved it. That one was directed by Jon Favreau. Yes, thank you. Thank you, my plant person, to promote my podcast, Office Ladies. Thank you.
You have a podcast?
Hey, don't you have a podcast? Oh, they're fantastic.
I must have been a member.
There's a podcast called Suck It.
Andy came on.
I did the Valentine's Day
It's
one.
going to be on Stairmageddon. I thought Leslie. That little interview I did with you for Stairmageddon.
I got something that's in there real quick. And I think it was the same one because Favreau directed this. It's the opening one where I'm in there and I'm yelling at Ed Helms and Andrew Bernard.
And like you told me everything was fine, and you for 3 months you were on a post, and so we do it, and then it's all set, and it's all right, let's just do one more, we'll see what happens. And I asked, I think it was Sarah was on the set, Greg or Sarah who had written, and she's like, I said, hey, can I like swear? It'll be one of those times where like they bleep it out, just like Wallace says, you know, fuck. Tried to whisper so the kids wouldn't hear. And they checked with Greg, and they said, yeah, try it. And I did, and then Favreau thought he loved it. It didn't ultimately end up working, but he said, yeah, we're gonna do it again, keep swearing. So we did like 3 more times, and it's like a Sopranos episode. And I'm like, Andrew Bernard, you mother effing, I need you. And it was totally out of character, but they edited it together. And Kate, I remember you walking in wondering like, what the hell is going on? He's like, did something happen? And yeah, Favreau, like that was his version. He sent to NBC. And it was not, I mean, it was hard, it was so out of character. I remember I watched it, like, oh yeah, of course you can't have that. That's,
Not 2013.
Yeah.
Where most of you were born.
It's floating around the internet somewhere, maybe, I don't know.
All right.
Anyway.
All right, guys, that concludes any party words, anything you want to say, podcast to plug?
I think, thank you so much. You've already plugged it, obviously. I think
Early?
we just appreciate you all so much, and thank you so much for the support that you've given the show over all these years, and it's really hard to say goodbye. That's what she said.
Thank you.
Poor people.